Hello and welcome. This is a special in which we're going to be discussing a very important thing of this country, which is lending. How lending relationships work between the lender, the borrower, and all the other referrals in between. Because let's face it, going out and getting a loan is one of the very few things that people hate buying. And the reason for that is they might get told no. You don't get told no if you want to go buy Reese cups at the store, but you might get told maybe or not today in terms of getting a loan. So it can be a very frustrating element, especially with all the process it takes to getting told no, working with just one lender at a time. And then there's another entire field of people that need to be able to refer their clients to lenders, but have no real control or relationship in the matter. I don't get paid as a real estate agent unless you have the ability to buy this house. I need the loan to work, but how do I find a reputable quality lender who can take care of my clients? And the third main category is the lenders themselves. It is so hard as someone who's trying to make a difference in the world, curate great loans, to be able to reach out and connect and create meaningful relationships. All of these problems we're going to be addressing today with the owner of a revolutionary new company named Glenn Clark. Glenn, you built something that is absolutely fantastic here called Browse Lenders. And as just going from this introduction here, it's unlike anything else we've ever seen before. Just flat out, what makes Browse Lender different, starting from the perspective of the guy who's actually going to be getting the loan in the first place?
Well, basically, Browse Lenders is an amazing platform that allows for the consumer and the lender to be more empowered in this changing current marketplace, how lending is done. It gives the empowerment back to that individual, that consumer, in conjunction to that lender, so that the lender stands out and the consumer is in a position to receive solutions to their unique lending scenario.
So, first off, that's a great starting point in how different and powerful it is. So, what is it like actually using you as someone who wants to get a loan?
Well, Browse Lenders isn't just your standard platform. We're not another lead farm. We connect consumers directly to real lenders through our platform that is structured, exclusive, and transparent. No spam, no games, just smart matching, matching for the lender and matching for that consumer to ensure that they receive real solutions for their unique lending scenario.
And that makes sense. Obviously, there's no such thing as one size fits all for loans. So, awesome. So we realize I'm going to be able to connect with someone. They're going to be able to help me with what I need. Walk me through what that actually looks like. Like what do I feel and experience while I'm trying to find the right lender on your platform?
And that's a good question. It's actually really simple, Joe. For the consumer, what they simply have to do is describe their unique lending scenario
Okay.
and choose their state. And then once they choose their state and describe their unique lending scenario, they are instantly routed to one of six lenders or to all six lenders that are in their state, not hundreds. We qualify you, the lenders qualify you without pressure, without obligation. So that consumer, again, is empowered based off of telling their unique lending scenario one time and then inviting lenders in their state to preview that unique lending scenario.
So if I'm understanding you right, as a consumer, I get to talk to multiple different lenders that I get to choose who to talk to. They are pre-qualifying me, and obviously everyone has their own things they're looking for. So maybe I'm a good fit for someone and not someone else. But because I'm working with multiple ones, I'm not caught in this trap of all of my hopes being on, oh, I hope that guy likes me, but actually multiple different lending institutions behind us. And you mentioned in there also that there's qualified lenders. So what does this Browse Lenders platform do to actually protect me as the borrower to make sure that I don't end up with the wrong product or flat out something I have no idea what I know I should need or not?
You know, Joe, that's a very good question. What we do is we cap the lenders, the exclusive lenders, at 6 lenders per state. That alone protects the consumer from getting flooded. More importantly, it ensures that they're dealing with quality over quantity. Lenders who are invested in building relationships, lenders that are invested in understanding that consumer's lending scenario. And it empowers the consumer so that they have more than one lender that they're working with. They're working with 6 lenders by telling their story one time on a secure platform.
Well, I love that. I love the fact that, again, I'm not bound to just one person's decision, but there's multiple. And I don't need to go through this process over after being defeated and then try again and try again. I mean, it's one of the, let's face it, it's one of the reasons that people don't like going out for loans. They might get told no. It's a hassle-ish process, and who knows what I'm really getting judged upon. And
Yes.
one of the things I really liked there was that it's only 6 people. It's not 6,000. It's not like I just put out a Facebook ad and I'm getting bombarded and my cell phone never stops buzzing from AI bots. But you said that these were credible, qualified lenders. So from the lending perspective, what is their incentive to be a top producing lender to want to be on this platform?
Well, their incentive is to basically stop chasing cold leads.
Okay.
If you apply and you are selected to be affiliated as one of the only 6 lenders in that state, essentially, as a lender, you immediately stop chasing cold leads and you start receiving warm referral driven scenarios. Our platform sends you, the lender, in their market, borrowers that are ready for conversation. This is something that's unique to our current market environment. Many times consumers are submitting rate requests and they receive hundreds of answers from hundreds of lenders. And this actually curates that by allowing those 6 lenders within their respective state to receive inquiries from consumers that are in that state that are ready for conversation, not just kicking tires. They are ready for conversation. I mean, let's face it, if you're a lender, you want to work with consumers that have the ability or the true want for their lending scenario to receive answers. And our platform provides that. And it provides it in a big way for the lenders that are within their state.
And so I see how that's massively beneficial from the lender's perspective. Obviously, prospecting is difficult. No one really ever likes doing it. It's one of the biggest industries going, buying prospects. But when you see the experience from the buyer side, I mean, I've been given text and calls a month after asking one of those referrals, what's the rates today? And from that lender perspective, what's the point of buying a lead when I'm already have a loan? So it's just a waste of time and money. And from the lender being able to say, hey, I know you're new, or I know you're real, I know you're hot, I know you actually want to connect with me, it's there. And this, I guess, is a lead into the next question, because you've mentioned there's only 6 lenders here a couple of times. Why is that such a point that you're emphasizing like crazy? Because my intellectual starting point is have everyone out there and then just cut it up so you have more people to choose from. But you seem to be taking a lot of pride in that there's only 6 lenders per state. Why is that?
Well, Joe, that's a good question. When you're one of 6, you're not competing with the noise. You're building trust, visibility, and consistency. And that creates space for real conversations, not rate shopping, not margin cutting, you're in a position to build real relationships with real consumers that want real solutions. And that right there makes it more exclusive for the lender. And it more importantly makes it more empowering for that consumer that's searching for solutions for their unique lending scenario. Similar to what you just said, if you are a consumer and you submit on the traditional platforms right now, inquiries, you're bombarded that day, the following week, and sometimes the following month by lenders that are just contacting you. We streamline that and we make it exclusive for just 6 lenders, 6 vetted, curated list of lenders that will provide those solutions for that consumer.
That's amazing. I mean, that makes sense. So everything you said is just kind of building upon each other. We're protecting the consumer. We've given the consumer the ultimate solution in terms of knowing they're confident. It's a better buying experience. For the lenders, you're one of 6. You know that you're exclusive. You know that you're the top guys in the field, and not to be looking into people's background or their images, but you have very prominently shown that you're one of the top lenders with that 3% over your shoulder here. So you have experience as a lender helping people from this perspective as being one of the best. And while everything was built through the consumer standpoint, because obviously they're the ones borrowing the loan, without them, we don't have it. How has your expertise of being an expert in this field so long impacted the platform in which these lenders are going to be participating on and transactioning and connecting with the borrowers?
Joe, that's a good question. I was a lender for some 18 years. I started out as a loan officer, was a sales manager, was a director of business development, to actually co-owning a mortgage company. I managed hundreds of loan officers. And during that time, I saw what loan officers had and I saw what loan officers needed. So essentially, I built the Browse Lenders platform because it was something that I wished that I had as a lender. I was tired of sending actually rate quotes into a black hole. I was tired of being at the bottom of a list of hundreds of referral lenders, and the only thing that differentiated me was the lowest rate. So the lowest rate in cutting my margin, I should add.
Yeah.
I wanted something that would enable me to stand out. And because of that, Browse Lenders was created. It's designed to give the lender leverage again through exclusivity, through pre-qualified intent, through a vast ecosystem that removes the heavy lifting from the lender. It allows the lender within their state to stand out so that they do not have to cut margin. They do not have to be predicated on ensuring that they provide the lowest rate. They have the ability to maintain their identity, their professionalism, and provide solutions, curated solutions for unique lending scenarios that come across their desk. It gives them the leverage, it gives them their power, it gives them their ability to brand themselves as the lender that they are, the professional lender, the vetted lender that they are.
And I just got to say, that's amazing. And if you go to any hardware store, the tools that are the best tools are the ones that were built by the professionals who use them all the time. And what I even love further about you here, Glenn, this is you personally, is that not only did you make an amazing tool that would have helped you as the professional lender, but you did it from the person you're helping standpoint first and foremost, that everything about this platform is built to help the consumer who's going to be getting the loan. And that just firsthand is one of the scariest reasons why people don't give their best referrals, because if I'm going to refer someone to you, I'm putting my reputation on the line. I'm putting my everything, my credibility and all this on the line. And that's something that I would imagine as a real estate agent is a really big concern, because real estate agents are in this like tight window where if the loan doesn't happen, I don't get paid. But if it's a bad process, I might not get the next lead either. So it's a double whammy if the thing fails. But at the other end of the day, I have no idea the truth about my client who wants to buy this house, actual economic situation. I know what they told me, but like, who really knows there, right? So how does someone who's in that situation where they need to have the loan go through for a referral use your platform in this capacity? I mean, it seems like an amazing tool, but how is that dot connected for real estate agents and people who also in this situation? It's not just real estate agents who are here, but real estate agents who need this solution that this loan needs to happen. And your tool seems amazing, but how does it work for the real estate agents?
That's a very good question, Joe. And as mentioned, I am a former loan officer, owner of a mortgage company. I am a current real estate broker of a real estate company. So I have the ability to understand both aspects and wear both hats from the perspective of a former owner of a mortgage company, loan officer that has worked 80 hours to try to procure business, to stand out 80 hours a week, to really hone in on my craft, to where I am today, a owner of a real estate company. And what I see is you're 100% correct. As a real estate broker or a real estate agent, we want to make sure that our clients are secure in their lending, to make sure that when they come to close, that they are ready and there are no hiccups along the way. And a lot of times real estate agents, real estate brokers have one or two lenders that they go to. However, that and to some degree creates bias, and that removes the empowering aspect for the consumer, their client. So for a realtor submitting a lending solution on behalf of their client or a prospective possible deal that they have the ability to upload that unique lending scenario. And they don't have to be an expert. They don't have to go to one lender or their two lenders that they go to. They allow for the 6 experts on the platform to look at that scenario, examine that scenario by that curated list of lenders, and provide solutions. 6 solutions instead of 1 solution, instead of 2 solutions. They're receiving 6 solutions from the 6 curated lenders that are within their state. And it's a way for that lender to provide solutions. Moreover, it's a way for that real estate agent, that real estate broker, to maintain a sense of control over the situation, to be involved in the process, to know every step of the way from a distance that consumer is receiving good information, accurate lending information that will allow for that deal to close, so that real estate agent kind of in a degree is in the loop along the way.
So that makes a ton of sense, because the agent also needs to get this answer quickly, because when you sign an agreement, we're going to close on this house 45 days, 65 days, or whatever, you have now 6 people telling you potential solutions to get it done. And that is increases your likelihood, because let's face it, as a real estate agent, you know that 3 out of 10 of your closings are going to be horrible, and they're normally because of lending. But if you have had started with 6 different people telling you up front, this can be done and this is how it can be done, the likelihood of this particular closing be one of those 3 bad ones really diminishes, and it makes your efficiency of closing more houses increase. And it seems like a really big win-win along the way because there's so many vetted agents willing to help. And that's the whole part of this here. And
That's
this is a different thought here. And tell me if this is a weird angle here. But when we were having our pre-meeting, you talked about how this could even be an employee benefit. And I think we're totally honest. At the time, I was like, how could a lender be an employee benefit? But just going through the start of this conversation and thinking about it a little bit, it is not fun getting a loan. I mean, for most people, it is a headache and a half. But if there is a situation where I know there are 6 people, they all are incredibly qualified, they all are capable, and they're not fly-by-night shops, that would make my employees' lives better. And the less stress that's on my employees, the better employees they are. I mean, that's basic math. So I apologize if I just took the answer you were about to give me out of your mouth, because you told me this in the pre-show. I was thinking about like, how would this connect? And I was like, I think I figured it out.
you're 100%, Joe. I mean, we've all worked at companies where our team members, our colleagues are in the process of either purchasing a home or going through a refinance. And during that process, our colleague, our friend from work, either they're happy that they're closing or they're sad that something happened during the process. And in the case of them being sad, and I've seen that, I would say 50% of the time, if they're sad, it affects their ability to perform their job duties. So from the aspect of HR, from the aspect of the owner of a company, it allows for their employees to have access to a secure system, a system with vetted lenders, 6 vetted lenders within their state that provides unbiased solutions for that employee to receive solutions to their unique lending scenario. So the employer doesn't have to worry that their employee is receiving information from a lender or information regarding their financial decision that they're going through that could potentially affect their job performance. It acts as a financial wellness tool that can be provided at the point of any HR team, any employer, to allow for a secondary aspect of security from browse lenders so that that employee has the ability to receive solutions to their refinance questions, solutions to their purchase questions, solutions to their credit restoration questions. It has the ability to provide the solace that the HR team would want to ensure that those employees have tools that benefit them. And Browse Lenders brings that aspect, that financial wellness into a process that gives the employee empowerment. So yes,
and
you are 100% correct, Joe.
Financial wellness being one of these things that everyone needs, but HR and everything you just said here, there's a lot of red flags that would have gone up. You know, I'm having given personal advice or economic advice. Whatever goes wrong, it's tied to me. But your platform has already solved a lot of these problems that would conceivably shoot down an idea like this before it even started. Your platform's already solved it. First off, I'm unbiased. There's 6 people there. I'm not sending you to just my friend or someone who's giving me a recommendation. There's 6 people there. Furthermore, they're top vetted actions. So therefore, I don't have to worry about unprofessionalism. This is something that is universally being wanted across the economy in terms of financial wellness. And there's no liability that's going to come back to me as an HR professional recommending it to you, because these guys, A, are all fiduciaries, but they're also sample them, where my individual employee gets to choose who they engage with. I'm not giving them one person in which I could be liable for. I'm giving them a platform that is easy to use and built to have relationships. And that's something that I find is that, again, when we talk earlier about people who build tools from that standpoint, build the best tools. Glenn, this has to be the absolute future of what lending is going to be here. Because I'm thinking this through this, whether I'm someone who needs the loan to get done so I get paid, like an accountant or and a real estate agent, is what we talked about a bunch here. This is so much better than just being like, yeah, I guess just go to the bank down the street. Like maybe they'll be able to take care of you, but actually talking to people who are there, professionals. And this is an out of curiosity question because you've been a lender as long as you were. Is there a lot of turnover in that area? Like, is it hard to build meaningful relationships with people who actually get it? Or is it like they're here for 20 minutes, they don't like lending and they leave? Like what is your run of the mill lifespan, I guess, as a broker?
Well, as a lender, it depends on performance. And a lot of times it depends on whether or not you have the ability to differentiate yourself and sustain the market, sustain yourself within the competitive nature of lending, from your team members to relationships that you've created. And a lot of times turnover is great within lending. You'll find that you will work for one company for 2 years, 3 years, and then for whatever reason, whether it be your inability to produce deals or the lender's inability to develop aspects that will allow for their deals to close on time, whether it's processing, whether it's underwriting. But a lot of times turnover in lending happens, and it happens fast. And when it happens, that lender leaves a sense of themselves at that institution. And what I mean by that is if they have deals in a pipeline, a lot of those deals become open to other lenders that are in their facility. So if that lender leaves that company, those deals that are in that pipeline becomes the property of the company that they used to work for. Moreover, now that lender is competing against their team, and to a sense, a larger degree, they've just left their identity, and their identity, their brand is tied to that company. Browse Lenders allows for that lender to still maintain a sense of their identity because it gives them the ability to brand themselves and still be listed as one of 6 lenders, whether they are with company A and decide that company A is not a good fit, so they want to go to company B. If they did that switch, Browse Lenders still allows for them, that lender, to be empowered and know that they have the ability to change companies and their brand stays their brand. Their ability to maintain exclusivity as one of 6 lenders within their state remains the same. So that lender still maintains their identity, still maintains their book of who they are. And that is big. That's big, especially in lending. And I'm glad that you brought this up. Secondarily to Browse Lenders platform, we provide each lender that becomes one of the 6 exclusive lenders on our platform a non-compete funnel that's tied to an authority domain, which allows that lender to brand themselves and maintain that brand. So whether you are Mortgage Broker Illinois, whether you are refinanceMortgageBroker.com, Browse Lenders provides not only the ability to be exclusive on the platform, we provide each lender, each one of 6 lenders, a non-compete funnel that is tied to an authority brand that will not go away. So if they leave company A, their brand stays with them. If they go to company B, they maintain their brand and their ability to still procure non-compete business either from their funnel, which is a non-compete funnel, or from the platform being exclusive as one of 6 lenders.
So correct me if I'm wrong here. From the perspective of the real estate agent, I don't have to worry about if an individual lender that I've had a good relationship decides to stop working with the banker on the corner. I'm still going to have a way to have them get my clients taken care of, because they'll both be still be on browse lenders. You're not kicking them off just because they went from Wells Fargo to Citi or something like that. They actually can stay there.
Sure.
And also on top of that, they have their own personalized brand that I can just send them directly to that spot. That adds even more credibility to me, because I can tell them, hey, just Google them and you're going to come up so high on Google with this super high credibility page that you give to the lenders. Glenn, I got to say, you really have thought of this from all angles. Part of this is, I want to be able to figure out where are the loopholes, where's the flaw in this company, because I know I would never want to go in and become a part of a platform if I didn't see the flaws. Like, I look at another online platform, I can really easily see the flaws in something like Facebook. There's a lot of people out there just wasting time. There's a lot of conversations that are irrelevant. You can see the flaws. You accept them as a cost doing business. Okay, whatever. You still go on Facebook.
Sure.
But with your platform, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like, where is the downside? And quite frankly, I've been working on this since we did our pre-interview a while ago. I'm yet to really come up with one. And you have built such a good platform. You've even gotten to the point now where you're getting it patented. And that is even beyond what you think of. Like, Facebook is even patented. Like, how did you go about, and why is it important that your platform is patented or patent pending, to use the technical legal terms?
That's Joe, that's a very good question. We actually have we have more than one patent, actually. We have a few patents and we have trademarks as well. And why we did that is it protects the platform's core mechanics, our scenario routing system, our exclusivity, our domain-driven access, our ability to pre-qualify consumers. And if those consumers are not pre-qualified, route those consumers to one of the ecosystem platforms like middlecreditscore.com that provides that consumer the ability to ensure that their credit score is where it should. So our patents
Or no? Glenn, we're talking about technology and patents, and right now the internet gave out somewhere. So I don't know if I'm frozen or if you're frozen. Sorry for the dead air for everyone who's watching. I know that this is something that is revolutionary and awesome, but we can't control the internet always. And when there's heat waves going across this nation, we can't always take care of whether the internet is working everywhere or not. But overall, everything that I've gathered from what Glenn has been talking about here has been a platform that is unlike anything else. If I'm going to recap this here, it's from the borrower's perspective, from the person trying to get the loan, it's not a headache anymore. It's connect, tell a little bit about what I'm doing, whether I'm trying to get a refi, buy a new house, whatever, play on their website a little bit, which is really 5 questions. And then I get the chance to tell it to 6 different professionals whose entire goal is to complete my loan, where it changes that dynamic from having to feel like I'm the only person in my own corner and I'm fighting against this bank to actually have different people telling me exactly how to do it and they're trying to take care of it for me. A revolutionary standpoint. And then from the lender's perspective on the other side of the fence, they're one of six. So they're getting people who just want their problem solved coming to them on a regular basis rather than getting tire kickers, but actual needing loans today, both from the borrowers, but also from those whose careers are dependent upon these loans getting closed. And he blew my mind when he told me that you also can do this as an employee benefit. Part of my world is helping companies make better employee decisions and making the employees happier with your business. And financial well-being is a major, major concern that, quite frankly, most companies punt on. They don't even try because of all the pitfalls of legally that could happen. And Glenn's company, Browse Lenders, has completely solved that problem and fixed it. So we definitely thank everyone for being with us here today and watching this unique special that we did, diving down into Browse Lenders. This is something that is changing the world. We live in a space where it's never been scarier to do anything personal on the internet. There's always a troll out there. There's always a data breach. There's always something. And what Glenn has made it is that I can build a relationship, actually know that person I'm talking to on the other side, whether it be a formal text inquiry or I actually can have a direct video conference conversation with them and be able to talk with people directly, knowing they care about me, knowing that the lender is going to take care of what I need. It is a remarkably different system. And I kind of like the fact that there's only 6 people. I don't get bombarded as a user on it. I have accurate knowledge coming to me, people being outclassed. And yeah, sometimes there's on there, not every lender is a good fit for me. But I'd rather know that up front than go through the process and have it break when I think I'm at the closing table. It is a much calmer, less stressful relationship that gets built. And that's the main thing. I've bought houses in the past. It felt like I was just a number on the wall. No one really cared about whether I was getting the best deal or not, whether I was getting the service I wanted or not, and whether or not this closing was going to be stressful. And what Browse Lenders, in contrast, has done was a night and day situation. So to join Browse Lenders, there's a couple of different ways to do it. Obviously, the website is browselenders.com. If you are a lender looking to do it, it is join.browselenders.com, and you'll be able to find all of the links there on the main page. We thank you all for watching, and we'll be with you with the next special coming down the pipe, both on LinkedIn and YouTube.